rise. The Honorable Judge Stephanie Boyd.
W. State of Texas versus Amia Cooper. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense.
Charles Bunt for Ms. Cooper.
And are you Miss Cooper? All right. Miss Cooper, before we do that, Mr. Bonk, you are appointed to represent Miss Cooper today. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Have you had ample time to review the allegations in the motion?
I have, and we're waiving our preparations.
All right. Ms. Cooper, do you understand that your attorney has 10 days to prepare for a hearing on this matter? You need to say yes or no. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you understand your attorney is waiving that right and he's asking to proceed now? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any objection to proceeding with this now?
No, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Amia Cooper who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2015 CR 11815W for the offense of promotion of prostitution of a person younger than 18 years and placed on probation on January 25th, 2016 for a period of 5 years and extended for 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 2 on or about the 25th day of July 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Amia Cooper, did in there legally use a controlled substance, namely methamphetamines, in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
Okay, here's the thing. I can't hear you. You're going to have to speak up. You can't be whispering because I know when you're in public, you don't whisper. So how do you plead to a violation of condition number 2 that's just been read by the state? True or not true?
It's true.
We'll
State.
waive the remaining violated conditions, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, there is, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
It is to adjudicate guilt or revoke the individual offer of probation and is sentenced to 2 years in TDC.
Is that the agreement?
That is our agreement, Judge.
Ms. Cooper, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
I cannot
Yes.
hear you. All right. The court will follow your agreement, find you guilty, grant the motion, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served.
For the record, Judge, I've been told by the court staff and the probation department, she has 576 days credit that we're asking to receive.
Robert McMahon
Yes.
needs time for her state ed status and state ISF.
All right. Were those successfully completed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And I'll give her credit for any time and inpatient treatment. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Judge.
Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question about what a weapon or need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. I understand the issues that you've had in your life, but at some point in time, you are going to have to start making better decisions, because otherwise you're going to find yourself in and out of prison and back to the same place that you were before. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you have a significant other or somebody in your relationship who wants you to do things that are not for your best, then you need to drop them, because they mean you no good. And I don't know if what I'm telling you is sinking in or not, but if you have a boyfriend out there who's making you do things or wants you to do things for fast and easy money, then guess what? That is not the person for you. And you're going to have to stop using drugs, because otherwise what you had in your system today that could be the last time you use. And then guess what? There would be somebody dead in Bear County or somebody dead in a field, and they'd be trying to identify the body. Then somebody would identify the body, and it may be you. Don't be that person. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge. We've exchanged.
Make a bit of sense. All right, Santonio, I.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand for me, Mr. Ott.
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, you can put your hand down. Mr. Ott, I'm seeing you. You can put your hand down. I'm seeing you too much. This is your second hearing on this case. So this is State of Georgia versus Santonio Marquez Ott, 2019 CR 09750. You were convicted or you entered a plea of criminal trespass on the 3rd day of January 2023. You were sentenced to 12 months on probation. You have 5 months and 7 days remaining. This is your second hearing. You're tested positive on, you failed to avoid injurious and vicious habits. You tested positive for THC marijuana on April 6, 2023 and June 7th, 2023. You failed to report to probation on May 11th, June 29th, July 3rd. You failed to complete your clinical evaluation. You failed to pay. You are currently $345 in arrears. Who's representing Mr. Ott? Mr.
I am.
White?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's going on with your client?
Your Honor, in regards to the drugs, don't necessarily really have an explanation for that. Mr. Ott understands he's not to be taking drugs. I do believe that based on probation's recommendation, that is hopefully no longer to be an issue. In regards to the payments, I know Mr. Ott has recently gotten a second job so that he can help start paying these payments back. And as regards to the clinical evaluation, Mr. Ott has stated that he had taken some clinical evaluation class, but that he was told by probation that he needed to take a different one. I wasn't sure what the difference between these two classes were. I was hoping probation could speak more onto that, Your Honor.
Ms. Chang?
Your Honor, probation is recommending that 15 days be revoked, return to probation, drug screen each report, and he is to get a clinical evaluation and document proof by August 15th, 2023. The original sentence, Your Honor, from January 3rd indicates that he was to undergo a clinical evaluation performed by a clinical evaluator in the Georgia Department of Human Resources Registry. He completed a substance abuse evaluation on April 4th, 2023, but it wasn't what was ordered. It wasn't a clinical evaluation.
All right, so Mr. Ott, don't call an audible, sir. Go, if you have any questions about who you should go to, you go to your probation officer and ask for guidance, because you did something that you thought would work, but that's not acceptable to the court. It's not what we ordered. So I'm going to accept the recommendation of probation. I'll sentence you to 15 days revoked. Upon your release, you'll return to probation and you'll be drug screened and alcohol screened at each report. And you will complete a substance abuse clinical evaluation per the guidelines with the Georgia Department of Human Resources by August 15th of 2023. Now, Mr. Ott, we can keep going around and around in these circles where you just keep smoking marijuana and not showing up for probation, and I keep giving you days, but it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It seems like you would just want to get this done and not keep coming back and keep going to jail. Unless there's something in jail that is, because from what I'm understanding, the jail conditions are not where you want to be right about now.
Yes, ma'am. Mom, could I say one thing, ma'am, and then be quiet?
Sure. That's
Yes,
fine.
ma'am.
Go ahead.
My initial drug test that I failed, I'd been incarcerated in Department of Corrections for 1.5 years. I informed P.O. Chang that I had been using, illicit drugs while I was incarcerated.
Well, but she didn't write you up for that initially. She waited until you tested positive 2 months later. So
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, she didn't ding you for the first one.
Yes, ma'am. But the thing is, when I talk to the guy, I never make excuses. I always accept responsibility, man, always. But the thing is, the man told me, he was like, they have to give you at least 90 days before the drugs to get out of your system. You understand what I'm saying, Your Honor? He said what they can do is not test for the actual marijuana, but test the levels. He said if the levels of marijuana are decreasing, then you're proving that you're no longer using marijuana, Your Honor. And I was a heavy user. You understand what I'm saying? I was using drugs. I admit that. But, and then the whole thing with the evaluation, I will get that straightened. I have 2 jobs now, so everything that I need to get done, I get done. And I appreciate y'all, and I'm sorry for wasting your time.
All right, Mr. Ott. Mr. Ott, you're wasting your time, and that's the problem. That's what I want you to see. You are wasting your time. And what I mean by that is life is short. Things happen every day where something happens and you didn't expect it. So what I'm saying to you is this is time that you're missing out on life. This is time you're missing out on enjoyment of life. It's summertime. You should be outside. You should be barbecuing. You should be fishing, going to the pool. These are things that you're missing out on because you keep coming back here and spending time in a jumpsuit in this jail. This is what you should be thinking is like, do I want to go back to that jail, or do I want to toe the line and maybe start going to Narcotics Anonymous and get some help and kind of get myself down? Because let me tell you, most people, if they smoke recreational, they can pass a drug test. But if they are a heavy user, it's because they're trying to treat something that is a problem in their life. I don't know what you've been through, but all of us have been through something. And some of us try and treat those things with marijuana or alcohol. And if it's something that you went through that you're trying to medicate, then you may just need to start talking to somebody. If you go to Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous, you're talking to people who are going through some of the similar things. That's a safe space, okay? And that can help you to start talking about whatever it is you're trying to medicate. All right, because Mr. R, I want you to have a good life. Like everybody who comes before me, that's the thing. I want you to have a better life than you're having. It doesn't give me any pleasure to see people in jail. All right. So you're going to have 15 days revoked. You're going to test at each report, and you're going to complete that evaluation by August 15th. All right. You can go back with the sheriff's office.
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
If just to instruct Mr. Ott to report in person to our office within 24 hours of his release.
Okay. All right. Within 24 hours of your release, Mr. Ott.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. You're free to go. You can go back with the sheriff's office.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused? You
may. I'm just typing this up. Deputy, do you have anybody we haven't seen?
Thank you.
No, ma'am, we are done.
All right, sir. 11:40. Look at there. Take care, right. Deputy Jones.
Good today.
All right, Mr. Marable, you're before the court for State of Georgia versus Charles Floyd Marable Jr. And it is a failure to yield the right of way. So, Mr. Marable, you are before the court, the state to attempt to prosecute you on that offense, they have the burden of proving the case against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You do not have to give any evidence or testimony against yourself. And you have the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself. What that means is the state is going to present their case, and you have the right to ask questions of any witness that the state brings forward, but please be careful to only ask questions and not make statements about what you believe happened, because you're not testifying yet. We got to wait until we make sure that you do wish to offer testimony in this case. The state is going to present their evidence. You have the right to question any witnesses they may have. And then if after that time you wish to enter any evidence or testimony, you may. But please remember, it is the state's burden to prove the case against you. Now, I don't want you to make any statements because I haven't sworn you in. You haven't decided whether you're going to testify or present evidence. At that time, I'm going to question you about whether you understand you have the right to remain silent and whether you wish to freely and voluntarily give up that right and offer testimony. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So on the case of Charles Floyd Marable Jr., Ms. Janvier, state may call its first witness.
Yes, Your Honor, the state would like to call Ms. Minifield.
Okay, Mr. Minifield, thank you for your patience, sir.
Alexis Minifield.
Ms. Minifield?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, I have to see you.
Could you repeat that?
I have to see you. I can hear you, but I have to see you.
Oh, you have to see me. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So you should have something on your screen that looks like an old-fashioned video camera. If you click on that.
Yes, I'm about to cut it on.
Okay.
I had to lit my camera up. Hello?
Yes, Ms. Minifield? Ms. Minifield?
Well, I could just go forward without him because I can't keep. I've had the baby now, so we can. I shouldn't have any interruptions.
All right, so hold on, Ms. Hollingsworth, and we're gonna get to you in a minute, okay? Thank you.
Well, I would say, sorry, Your Honor, but I believe while I was in the break route, you let Officer McCullough, he was excused.
Oh, for Miss, yeah. Oh, yeah. So Miss Hollingsworth, we can't go forward with a trial because the officer was excused because you weren't here after I called the calendar several times, and then after I talked to a bunch of people, so you still you weren't here. So hold on just a second. Miss Minifield, great. Okay, Miss Janvier, you may begin.
Oh, she's gone. Oh, there she is.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Miss Minifield. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? If you're speaking, Miss, you might be on mute. I can't hear you. You can hear me, but we got to hear you as well.
All right. So, Miss Minifield, let's try a couple of things. Look at your device. Are you on a phone? If you're on a phone, you shake your head yes. Okay. Touching things. Okay.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay, we can hear and see you, so don't touch anything. We're good.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Janvier.
Thank you. Did you already swear her in, Your Honor?
I did not.
Okay.
Raise your right hand for me, ma'am. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can put your hand down.
Good morning.
Morning,
Can you please state your name for the record?
Alexis Minifield,
And are you currently employed?
independent contractor.
Okay. And Ms. Minifield, do you recall a vehicle collision that occurred on June 21st of 2020?
June 21st.
Yes.
No.
Do you recall being in a vehicle collision?
No.
Was there an accident that occurred that you are aware of?
In 2020?
Yes.
No, that I know. No.
All right, thank you. Your Honor, state moves in no press.
Right, will be no prize, Mr. Marable. You're free to go at this time. The case is going to be dismissed.
Hold on. What he said? Hold on. You said the date was 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
What type of vehicle was this?
That's okay, ma'am. We've already no pros the case.
You said what now?
I said, we've already no pros the case. You're free to go at this time.
I'm not understanding, like, who caused, what was the accident and who caused it?
Well, that's what we were here to prove, but you have basically shown us that we can't prove that case against him with you.
I'm not, this is what I'm confused. Like, I'm asking a question like this. You say this happened in 2020?
Yes, ma'am. It's okay. It's all right.
Because I was recent in an accident. So I'm not understanding what this case is pertaining.
No, this is not recent. This was during the pandemic.
And somebody hit me?
Yeah.
I don't want to tell me. Okay.
No. So the reason I'm not giving any information is because as the judge, I'm supposed to stay neutral. So
okay.
I can't give you information. You're the witness and you're supposed to give us information. But if you don't have the information that we're looking for, it's okay. We just can't proceed with the case against the person who's been accused of the offense. So this is the way justice is supposed to work. If we can't prove the case, or if the state can't prove the case, it's supposed to get dismissed.
I understand that, but this back in 2020, I have no, this 2023.
I get that, Ms. Minifield, that's okay. But if it's, you don't have the information, then that's important too. I mean, if you have the information, that would be important. But if you don't have the information, that is also important.
Right, but I'm trying to, I'm confused on how I get, why did I have to come to court for that?
Because I guess your name was in the file, but I'm not sure how, I don't get to see the file. So I'm not sure how your name was connected to this. It may have been a mistake. It's okay.
Okay, so how can I get information about this accident that happened in 2020? So I'm aware of how my name get in there.
You can actually, the case number is, you ready?
Hold on a second. Yes, ma'am, I'm ready.
Okay, it's case number 2020 TK 08500. And if you wanted to get any information about it, you could do it through the clerk of state court of Clayton County. But you're not being accused of anything. They just thought you may have been a witness to whatever happened.
I don't even remember. Okay, let me give you this case number again. Because I invited somebody to come because I thought this was something that happened recent. I was in an accident.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, the case number is 2020 TK 08500.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I don't waste my dang on time. It works.
I'm sorry, Miss Minifield.
All right, thank you.
All right, take care.